Today we are going to graph quadratics. So when we graph quadratics, we're going to have to need a few things. So you will need a calculator, a graphing calculator. If you don't have a graphing calculator, you can download what I downloaded, which is here, Calculator 84. That's what it looks like. That's on the Apple, any of the iPhones, Apple, or iPads. And if you have Android, then it's Wabbit EMU. I will spell it, but I have to erase it. It's Wabbit EMU. This is a graphing calculator that's a very, very good one for Android. Calculator 84, pretty basic. 84 is for Apple. Both of them are free, and both of them are really, really good to help you through all this stuff, okay? So calculators, no problem. All right, so we're going to graph quadratics, and this is of course, our axes. Our x, this is our y, our x-axis, and our y-axis, and then we have this parabola we've been talking about all the last 2 weeks. I'm just drawing a random one. It's super random, not even a big deal. All right, here's a couple things that are going on. The axis of symmetry that we talked about before will go through the vertex. We talked about the vertex being that dot. I'll label it. That's the vertex. The axis of symmetry we are going to find today to help us graph goes right through it. Okay, this is the axis of symmetry. All right. Now we have a couple other things here. Here are the things that we solved for the very first day, which are called the x-intercepts, right? Or these are actually called solutions, and they're called solutions because x equals 0 on them. And so when you move over, I'm sorry, dummy, sorry about that, y equals 0, excuse me, y equals 0 on them, so the solutions would be x equals. So this would be x equals, make it up 4 and -8 or something like that, whatever. So that's what those are. Over here, let's go gray, I guess. This guy here is the y-intercept. All right. Now all these will matter when you look at the table, but when you graph them, you just got to be careful a little bit. Okay, so we go to how we're going to do this. The first thing you're going to do is find the axis of symmetry. Okay, that's the first thing you're going to do. Then you're going to put the equation in a calculator in y1. Okay, so after you do that, you will press, you're going to go to the table, which is second graph on your calculator. No matter which one you use, that's all it'll be. Oops, sorry about the H here. Okay. All right. And what you're going to do, you're going to look for that x equals that you found on the axis of symmetry. All right. Now you're going to look for that. The reason you're going to look for that is because once you find that x equals, then there's a y equals, and that is your vertex in the table. So, and I'll show you. It's super easy. Then you're going to complete a table. Sorry. You're going to complete a table. I did it again over here, didn't I? Fill in the table using 5 points. Okay? And then you're going to graph it. All right. So let's again review what the axis of symmetry is when you see these. So find the axis of symmetry in standard form. This is, again, we've done this already. I'm just going to review it so it's in one note. Standard form, again, was y equals ax squared plus bx plus c And to find the axis of symmetry, I'll put it in red, is x equals negative b over 2a. Okay? When you do factored form, is y equals a times x, it was x plus p, x plus q, and factor in the axis symmetry here was x equals the opposite of p plus q divided by 2. So all you got to do, this is the only work you're going to have to show on this entire worksheet, and then you're going to use all that information as you would graph it. So this will help you when you take entrance exams in the summer or in the fall, wherever you're going to go, and they want you to be able to graph these things. This will help you find the vertex super fast. Okay, so I believe we are going to write into our example. All right, we're going to graph f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 9. All right, so a here is 1, b is negative 4, and c is 9. All right, so find the axis of symmetry. X equals negative negative 4 over 2 times 1 is 4 over 2, so you get 2. So what your axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go into my calculator, and I'm going to put the equation in for y1 and look for this number 2, x equals, and that'll be your vertex. So I go in my calculator, I press y1, and I go x squared minus 4x plus 9. And then second graph, like I said in the notes, second graph, and I'm going to try to find that 2, and there it is. See it? So it's highlighted here in pink, 2, 5. That's my vertex, and I'm gonna write down in a table 0, 9, 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, and 4, 9. Those are the 5 points. Now you notice too they're below 10. We want to make sure that we're below 10 so we can graph on a graph paper. So we're going to move here. We're going to go here, and we're going to fill out this table. All right. So I have my table already here. This is just a random table. This could be on the same piece of paper, obviously. I just don't have enough room. So 0, 9, 1, 6, and then 2, 5 was my vertex. So I believe the directions say state the vertex. The vertex is 2, 5, right? And we see, oh man, there we go, 2, 5. And then obviously because A is positive, it opens up, which makes it a min. And I'll show you that in just a second, how we can determine that even not even knowing the vertex. And then I said it was going to be 3, 6, and 4, 9. Okay, so when we got all this stuff, we're going to go to a graph. Now, this is just a picture of a graph paper. You can sketch it if you want. It's just easier if you have this on your thing. What color did I make it? Blue. Okay. So I'm going to graph. Blue is 2, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the red ones were 1, 6, and 3, 6, and then 0, 9. Uh-oh. What happened? Okay. 0, 9, and there we go. Connect the dots to make a parabola. And to make sure I did this right, I'm going to go to my calculator real quick, press the graph button, oopsie, excuse me, zoom 6, and you see that it is above here, right? You see how it's up here? And the same thing with my graph is also up there. So if you can see the pictures there, they're pretty similar. Okay? All right. Okay, let's move on. Do another example. And we're going to do, this is vertex form. We just learned this. This is super easy. There's literally going to be no work because, first off, I know that the A is negative 2. So I'm just going to write this down now that it opens down. That's a max. And I know my vertex, that the H is, again, opposite negative 3. K is negative 1. So my vertex is negative 3 comma 1. I already know it. There's my vertex. I don't even really have to find anything. I just have to look for that point in the excuse me, in the table. Okay, so I'm going to make my table right here, x, y. I'm going to go into my calculator, press y equals, clear it, and we got negative 2 parenthesis, x plus 3, close the parenthesis, raise it up to 2, square it, and then minus 1. Okay, so we said that the vertex was negative 3, negative 1, right? Negative 3, negative 1 is my vertex, and there's my rest of my table right there, above the pink and below it. So I'm going to fill that in right here, making my vertex negative 3, negative 1, and my other ones negative 4, negative 3, negative 5, negative 9, and then negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, negative 9, and then plot. So this is going to be negative 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 1. And then the rest of them, negative 4, 2, negative 3, and the other one here. And then negative 5, negative 9, and negative 1, negative 9. And of course it opens down, which should not be a surprise because we already labeled it. And there's your graph. There's your table. All said and done there. All right, one more. We're going to do this one, which is in factored form. And remember in factored form that we have a P is negative 4, the Q is negative 6, the A is positive 3. So again, open, up, min. So here is negative, negative 4 plus negative 6 over 2 to find our axis of symmetry. So x equals negative, negative 10 over 2. I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to erase this. I don't like the way that looks. So x equals negative, negative 10 over 2. So my x is actually 5. So x equals 5 is my axis of symmetry. That's the one I'm looking for in the table. All right, so let's go to it. All right, there's my graph. I'm going to go to my calculator again. Press y equals, press clear. And then we had a 3, and then x minus 4, and then x minus 6. So you have your equation put in there, and then you go into your table. Our vertex was 5, or our axis of symmetry is 5, so I got to find that, and there it is. Oops, passed it. There it is, 5, negative 3. So that's what I'm going to copy down right into my table, right here, with 5, negative 3 being my vertex, 4, 0, and 3, 9, 6, 0, 7, 9, and then we plot, and then we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and then the red ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. All these 9s, by the way, are just coincidental. Please don't think all this stuff is it's just coincidence of things I wrote. And my awesome drawing has gone a parabola, and that's it. That's what you need to do. So that's graphing. So do the best you can on what you have. If you can print it out, the worksheet would be easier. If not, just sketch the graphs and do the best you can. It's not the end of the world. Just, put your effort into it and you should be fine. Take a good picture and submit that, and then make sure you press turn in. Okay, great guys. We'll see you next time.